Okay, so we're reviewing because we have a test this week. So I want to review 79 through 86. I know in your homework you don't see it split like this, but I'm going to split it. Now, adding the angles of a triangle. Now, to begin with, that little red box on one corner, that means 90. Okay, so that number means 90. Second of all, when I'm dealing with the three angles of a triangle, let me add everything. So I have 3x plus 3 plus 90 plus 60. I'm adding all my angles of my triangle that is equal to 180. Okay. Let me separate my sides to the equal sign. The left side, let me condense it. Let me make it a little bit smaller. When it comes to letters, I just have a 3x. When it comes to numbers, just numbers, I have 3 plus 90 plus 60. That's 153. And I have that all this is equal to 180. Okay. I want to have the 3x by itself. So the plus 153, I'm going to cancel it on one side as long as I write it on the other side with the opposite sign. So instead of plus 153, let me write this as minus 153. Gotta switch the sign. So I have that 3x equals 180 minus 153. That's 27. So 3 times x equals 27. All right, to get x by itself, let me divide both sides by 3. So I get that x is equal to 9. Homework-wise, you just have to type in the 9. You don't have to write x equals, just 9. Now, a question that will give you guys a little bit of trouble, something like this. Find the measure of each angle indicated. So there's a question mark in there. Let me call it x for right now, because in Algebra 1 we learned that when we don't know the value of something, we call it x. Solve for x, find out what's the value of x. Now, there's two triangles, right? One of them has x and the other one does not. Let me start on the triangle that has nothing to do with x. I'm looking at this triangle. Right? Not the triangle that has x, the other triangle. I have two angles, right? 60 and 30. If you add those two angles, 60 plus 30, isn't that 90? Subtract this from 180. So that gives you 90. So this third angle has to be 90, right? The three angles of a triangle add up to 180. You can check it. 90 plus 60 plus 30, right? That has to equal to 180. Now, these three angles look like half of a circle. So it should add up to 180 as well. There's two angles, right? 90 and 55. Add the two angles that you have. Every time you're looking for a third angle, you have two, you're looking for a third angle. To begin with, add the two angles that you have. 90 plus 55. That gives me 145. And subtract this from 180. 180 minus 145 is 35. So I'm going to say this angle is 35. Now, I can solve for x. Now, I'm looking at this triangle. I have two angles, right? 35 and 125. If I add those two angles, 35, 125, that is 160. Let me subtract this from 180, and my answer will be 20. X equals 20. All right, let's take a look at number 81 now. Order the sides of each triangle from shortest to longest. I'm given the measurement of the angles, but I'm asked to name the sides. All right. Which one's the smallest angle? We can compare numbers. The smallest angle is 52. That's opposite from the smallest side. When it comes to sides, I'm going to use two letters. The sides, the letters D and F. So I'm going to say DF. That's the smallest side. Or FD, however you guys want. The order of the two letters does not matter. DF or FD. That's the smallest side. All right. What comes after 52? Remember, I'm going from small to large. Angle-wise, 58. That is opposite. Opposite means far away from this blue side. That side, I'm going to call it DE or ED, right? DE, ED, the order doesn't matter. Now, the biggest side, the biggest angle is 70, so the biggest side is EF or FE. Notice all my letters are capitalized, so don't forget that. Take a look at number 82. I want to switch things a little. Order the angles now. Order the angles in each triangle from smallest to largest. Okay. The smallest angle or the smallest side. The smallest side is 7. So the smallest angle is this one. I can call it angle E. For angles, we can use one letter or three letters. Three letters always works. Always 3 letters. One letter sometimes. Okay, what I mean with sometimes is, what if there's multiple corners at E, right? Not this case, but what if? If there's multiple corners at E, I cannot use one letter. It has to be all 3. If you're using all 3 letters, make sure E is in the center. So CED or DEC. All right, let's take a look. Now on sides, what's next, right? We already used the smallest side. What's next? 14th. What's the angle farthest away from this side? This one right here. I can call it angle C, right? Just there's a unique corner of C. I can call it C. Or if I'm going to use all 3 letters, I'm going to call this DCE. Notice I left C in the middle. Okay. It doesn't matter if you use 1 letter or 3 letters for angles. 1 letter sometimes works, 3 letters always. And the biggest angle, the biggest side is 15. So the biggest angle is this one. I'm going to call this CDE or just D, however you want. All right, now let's take a look at number 83. State if the 3 numbers can be the measures of the side of a triangle. So I gave you 3 sides. Identify the 2 small numbers. In this case, 3 and 6. Add the 2 small numbers. 3 plus 6. This has to be bigger than the other number. I know 3 plus 6 is 9. Is 9 more than 9? No. All right, so my answer is no. I add the 2 small numbers. It has to be more than the big number. Not equal, not less, more than. All right, let's take a look at number 84 now. 2 sides of a triangle have the following measures. Find the range of possible measures for the third side. All right, the third side is X, right? I'm gonna call it X. It's in between 2 numbers. In this case, I'm gonna say it's in between 1 and 19. And I came out with that from these 2 numbers. As a reminder, how did I get the 1? I subtracted the 2 numbers given, right? 10 minus 9. Keep in mind, measurements have to be positive, so 10 minus 9, not 9 minus 10, because it has to be positive. And then 19, because I added the numbers, 10 plus 9. All right, I said I was going up to 86, so let's take a look at number 85. Find the value of X. Now here, there's 2 angles marked. I'm going to emphasize this. This angle is marked, and that is opposite from this side. But I also have this angle marked, and that is opposite to this side. Now, because the angles are marked to begin with, the angles are equal. If those two angles are equal, those two sides are equal. So the way I'm going to solve for x, I'm going to go 6 equals x minus 1. I'm going to let them equal each other. Let me separate them to the equal sign. I'm trying to have x by itself. So this minus 1, I'm going to cancel it as long as I write it on the other side as a plus 1. Gotta switch the sign. So I get that 7 is equal to x. Well, x equals 7. Now let's take a look at number 86. Now here, to begin with, instead of a 2, I'm going to write this as x plus 41. Because I was told the measurement of angle 2 is x plus 41. As a matter of fact, in order for this to fit well, let me write it at the side. I'm going to say x plus 41 is this angle right here. Okay, now here, take a look. There's two sides that are marked. This side is marked. That side goes with this angle, right? Opposite angle, right? Farthest away. There's another side that is marked. This side. And that one goes with this angle, right? Opposite angle. The two angles that I marked are equal. The blue angle 73. I'm going to say the red angle is also 73. I see that I have information for all three angles. Now remember, on the triangle, if I add all three angles, so let me add that, x plus 41 plus 73 plus 73, it's equal to 180. All right, let me condense the left side. When it comes to letters, I just have x. When it comes to numbers, 41 plus 73 plus 73, that's 187. And all this is equal to 180. I can get the x by itself. Let me cancel this plus 187 as long as I write it on the other side as a minus 187. Gotta switch the sign. So I get that x is equal to a negative 7. Right, 180 minus 187, that's a negative 7. There's my value of x. Cool. Let me zoom out so we can see what we did for today.